Hey y'all, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you how we set up a Telegram bot to capture all of my content ideas while I'm on the road, directly store them in Airtable, and allow me to automatically generate posts and images and even video scripts so that every content idea I have is stored in one singular place and it doesn't go to waste. And so this recording is actually a recording of a live webinar we did walking people through the process of setting up this Telegram bot for themselves using Telegram, N8N, ChatGPT, Ideogram, and Airtable. And so all the templates I made available to people during the webinar. Now, with that being said, I don't typically do this, but maybe I'll start doing it in the future. Whenever we have these webinars, people typically have access to those templates. What I'm going to do is so that you can have access to the templates as well, and so you can follow along. I left a link down in the description below, or it should be up here somewhere in the video as well, where you can go sign up for free and then get those templates emailed to you directly, so you can directly import the N8N flows, the Airtable, all that sort of stuff, so you don't have to build it from scratch, and it makes it super easy to get it set up. So if that's interesting to you, go to the link below, sign up, and then also, if you want to be notified of future webinars, click the checkbox to be notified of future webinars. And what that'll do is it'll invite you to those webinars before anybody else, because we limit it typically to 10 to 20 people in the room per session, and then everybody else can watch on YouTube live. But in the session, if you're in the Zoom room, you can ask direct questions about how to get help. And then also for one person that is in the Zoom room, I'll actually walk over their shoulder, setting up the automation for them. And so if that sounds interesting to you, click the link below and you get started there. But other than that, let's dive into the recording and we can get to work. All right. We're going to go ahead and oops, let me unmute myself. We're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who don't know me, my name is George Roros. I own an advertising agency at the moment, but I've always been super passionate about AI. And really anything. All right. So let me pause my own voice because it's giving me some feedback right now. But what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you guys a Telegram bot that I set up to solve one real issue that I was having. And don't mind me walking. I got one of these walking treadmills, so I actually get steps in during the day because I sit at my desk 16 hours a day. Starting to get a little chubby, so working on that. But with that being said, and if I fall, just like call an ambulance or something, guys. But with that being said, what I'm going to be showing you today is the bot that I set up and what this bot that allows me to do in Telegram. And you can really port this to any platform that you want to use. But I chose Telegram just because it was easy for me to access the channel versus Slack. I have a million channels, super hard to find stuff. Definitely got to reorganize that. But what it allows me to do is when I'm on the road, when I'm in the gym, when I'm doing whatever, and I have a content idea, what I would typically do, and the problem I was facing, is I would have a idea. I would record it on my phone, either in videos or voice notes, and then that idea would sit there and collect dust, and it would never turn into anything. And then I would go to create content and be like, I don't have any ideas. So that was the problem I was trying to solve. And the way that I did that, and you can do it different ways, obviously, but the way that works for me and what I built is I built a Telegram bot where I can go drop a quick voice note on the content idea that I'm having. From there, what it'll do is it will summarize that voice note and get the transcript. And then from there, I could choose what type of post I want to create from that. Is it a TikTok video script? Is it a Facebook post? Is it an Instagram post, LinkedIn post, X post? Threads, whatever it may be, I can then use AI to make that a content ready piece based on my brand voice. And so with that being said, that's what we're going to be diving into today. Before I do that, what I want to do is I want to share a example of me actually creating this transcript, creating this summary, and capturing it within Telegram. And this is not the final version by any means. It's really just V1. And I will be adding a few updates to it as we go along. And if people really like this and I get a lot of likes, comments on it, etc., I will release my updates that I create that I'll show you at the end of this video. But with that being said, what I want to do is I want to show you a instance of me actually going through and setting up this bot, right? And so let's go ahead and just start with that. Keep it super simple. I didn't realize I was going to be juggling a phone, a keyboard, and all that stuff at once. So maybe I should not have turned the walking treadmill on, but we're here. We're going to deal with it. So let me get my phone connected in and I will show you guys the example there. So what we're going to do is my screen should be shared now. You can see I have this bot, this channel in Telegram, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to build this in this video, in this webinar. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll answer them as we go. But what this bot does is, let's say I have a content idea. And for this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the content idea be a little bit meta, and it's going to be a post telling people to come join this webinar. We're already on it, so it's done, but that's the only thing I can think of right now. And so what I'll do is I'll just record the voice note. So, hey, so I'm looking to create a post inviting people to a webinar that I'm doing where I'll be showing them how I capture all of my content ideas, being a busy entrepreneur on the road, and they don't get lost. I'm actually able to take them and build out fully fledged Facebook posts, TikTok posts, Instagram posts, all with one tool and automate it so I don't have to worry about it. And so I want to create a post that invites people to that webinar, kind of really hits on the pain points that they face, which for me is being a busy entrepreneur and not having content ideas, like having a creative block whenever I need to create content. And I have all these great ideas that I lost somewhere in the ether. And so what I'll do from that is I'll send this voice note through. And what's going to happen now is the AI is going to take it, it's going to transcribe it, and it's going to build an outline around it. That's the first step. And the reason I don't automate the post creation and posting is because I like to double check everything before it goes live. And so I do have those as manual steps for now, but time limit for today, I can't use Telegram anymore, apparently. But you could see what it did is it went ahead and dropped the outline into Airtable. And if we click on the Airtable link, we can go straight to that content idea. And with that content idea, we have different statuses. So to do in progress posted, the name, right? The AI came out with this, the transcript, the AI came up with this as well, and then the outline itself. And then what you could do is, let's say I get back to my desk and I am now ready to create these posts, right? I'm ready to generate the post. I'm ready to generate the images, the scripts, whatever it may be. I will be adding like AI voice actors in there too, so you can just sit in the script straight through. Not there yet, but what you'll do is you'll come on over to your content ideas Airtable, which I'm going to show you guys how to set up every single thing I'm showing you here today. And then all you have to do is with a few clicks of a button, you can come in, and this is the content idea we're working on. So I'm going to open it up. First thing you can do is you can select post type. And what's cool about this system is you don't have to use my post type prompts. If you want to set up your own pre-prompts for best practices, creative best practices, and even give it examples of what good output looks like to you, you can just copy and paste it here in the Airtable. You don't have to do anything with the automations. It's all managed within here in Airtable to keep it super simple. You can even set up content calendars, all that sort of stuff. We're not going to go into that today because we don't have a lot of time. This is just going to be a V1. And again, if there's a lot of interest, I'll continue to show you guys how to build upon this because I want to give out all this content for free so you guys can kind of take advantage of AI before it takes advantage of you. So with that being said, you can see for YouTube Shorts, I have best practices for writing scripts, Facebook posts, best practices for writing posts, and then the same for creating creatives within Facebook. And so what we're going to do here is I haven't filled these out yet. I wanted to keep this very, very bare minimum. I'm sure you guys are smart. If you need help with prompt engineering, again, let me know, comment down below. But we're going to go through and we're actually going to start setting up a Facebook post. And so on this idea right here, I'm going to hit generate post. And then what it's going to do is it's going to call the N8N flow that we're going to be building out today. And it's going to take those prompt bits that we have for creating good posts, and it's going to feed in our current transcript and then generate a Facebook post from that. And I'll show you guys the prompts as we get along, but it's running right now. And maybe N8N's having some issues right now, or maybe I am because I did not throw in there. Okay, George, that was on you. Generate posts, and now it should work. So don't forget to do that, guys, so that you look smart, unlike me. So this should be running now. I'm gonna let it do its thing. That took 7 seconds. Okay, so it actually ran. Perfect. So I forgot that you actually got to set up the post type you want to create, otherwise it won't work. And so calling all busy entrepreneurs, ever feel like your brilliant content ideas vanish into thin air the moment you need them the most? I do. That's why I built this. You're not alone. Join me for an exclusive webinar where I'll unveil the one tool that revolutionized my content creation process. Imagine capturing every fleeting thought, transforming it into engaging Facebook, TikTok. That's beautiful. So the AI created this all, and it was in part with ChatGPT, in part with the prompt that I created here. That took quite a bit to create. But you guys will get that for free. I'll show you guys how to download that. And if you're watching this afterwards, the link for all the templates, all that sort of stuff will be in the description below. So with that being said, even to sign up, right? Getting signed up for N8N, all the tools you need. Let's say we want to create an image. All we got to do here is we can generate an image for our post. It'll send that over to N8N, and we can go back to our workflows. And then if we go to the generate images section, you can see in the executions that this is currently running to create an image for our post. I like to use ideogram, and I'll be showing you guys how to set that up even with the API key on this call today. And we are already 16 minutes in. We're not done the demo yet, so I'm going to start speeding through this. These do take a little bit to run. Sometimes faster, sometimes slower, right? You see this one 34 seconds, 36. This one took 31, and then we're done. And so what's cool about this is we could take this, click it, and you can see it generate an image for us. That's a pretty interesting eye-catching image. I would definitely maybe do some upscaling there because the faces are a little bit like odd. But other than that, there we go. We got an image for our post and the actual Facebook post that we can copy directly into Facebook and go live. Future stuff, I will be actually building out something to automatically post to those platforms. I'll probably just link to an API like later or Go High Levels Content API. But for now, that's how it works. So this is what we're going to be building today. Really, you can customize the prompts as much as you want for creative, for copy, whatever it may be, right? I'm going to be showing you guys how to create this. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first thing we're going to need to do is set up accounts. And I assume you guys are adults, you know how to set up accounts on any sort of platform. So give me 1 sec and we'll dive in there. So we got this rocking and rolling, right? Objective of this call is by the end of this call today, you should have this system built out for yourself to capture those content ideas with Telegram, N8N, and OpenAI, plus a system to automatically convert those ideas into read-worthy posts and eye-catching images. So with that being said, I figured out with the webinar, I'm not going to be able to have you guys share your screen. So I'm just going to do this. Next time, I'll probably just do a Zoom meeting so that you guys can share your screen. I can do it over the shoulder. But for now, if you guys do run into questions, comments, concerns, just drop in the QA section any questions you have, and I'll make sure that we help you before the end of the call. So with that being said, we're going to have to set up a few accounts. So first things first, we're going to have to set up OpenAI. And in the document below, if you're watching this afterwards, you'll have access to all of these links and this entire document here, right? So you can just go in and click that, and it'll take you straight to OpenAI where you can sign up for the API. Once that's done, I'm going to give everybody a few seconds to do that. Just give me a 1 in the chat if you're done. Cool. So once we're done with that, we're going to have to generate an API key. And so I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. Let me log in. I'm going to unshare my screen so that I don't accidentally share my credentials. And so once you get into the developer portal, you're going to want to go over here to settings in the top right. And then there's a section called API keys. Cool. And so from there, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our API key. And there we go. It's under dashboards. And so what you're going to do is you're going to create a new secret key. You'll name it, and I would just name it Telegram bot thing or whatever you want to call it, Telegram content bot. But you leave all access, set it to the project you want, create secret key. It'll give you that key. Then you just want to copy it. And then we're going to save that for later. So store it somewhere safe. Next thing we have to do is we're going to want to get a Airtable account set up. So if you go to airtable.com, right, you should be able to go through there, sign up. Super simple. I'll be showing you guys how to integrate in a sec. But you're adults, I'm sure you know how to sign up for a website. Boom. Telegram, right? We'll also have to sign up for Telegram. This link is in here. If you Google Telegram, get it on the App Store. I would recommend getting it on the App Store and signing up. I'll give everybody a few moments to do that. And then N8N. This one is an affiliate link. You don't have to use the affiliate link. You just go to n8n.io directly and use that. But it does help me to continue to do free trainings like this and support the channel. So if you do end up going that way, super appreciate it. You can go to getn8n.com. And then ideogram, same thing. Just go to getideogram.com, or you can go directly to ideogram.io, I believe it is, and just get access there. Again, that is an affiliate link. It helps me to support this channel and continue to do free trainings like this. I don't have to charge for that. So with that being said, once that's done with the ideogram, you will have to generate an API key again. And there's the direct link here. Probably should have done the same thing for OpenAI. Maybe I'll add that to the document if you're watching this recording later. And so last thing here, setting up Telegram channel, right? We got all the accounts set up. So by now you should have an OpenAI account. You should have an Airtable account, and you should have an API key for your OpenAI account. You should have a Telegram account, should have an N8N account, and you should have an Ideogram account with the API key as well. Once we have all this set up, we're ready to rock and roll. So what we're going to do is first things first, and the thing that was the hardest for me to figure out is where the heck to get an access token for Telegram so we can integrate it in the N8N. And so there's this cool little guy you have to search on Telegram called Botfather. And so if you go into the search bar at the top of Telegram, type Botfather, you'll see this Botfather channel. You're going to want to go in there and then click start and then request a token. It'll give you an access token. Go ahead and copy that, save that for later. And make sure it has this little check verified next to it. Otherwise, it's not Botfather. So with that being said, once that's done, you should be able to get that access token from there. If you need additional help, I'll leave this link to help.zoho.com. Leave a 1 once you guys have that, and then we'll move on. Perfect. Okay. So next, we need to set up Airtable. And again, I'm going to drop this link in the comments in the Zoom webinar, so you should be able to grab it. If you're watching this video afterwards, it'll be at that same link in the comments or in the description on YouTube that I mentioned before. So just go there, grab that. You'll have all these links that you need. But we're going to set up Airtable next. And so what we're going to do in Airtable is we're actually, instead of having you have to create the base from scratch, I'm going to give you the base I use. So you just duplicate it with the data, with the prompts, with all that stuff. So you have a good base to start from, and then you can build it for yourself. And so this is the link right here to grab that template. You'll just want to copy it. I don't want to copy the link to the block. I want to copy it to here. So let me just grab that real quick. And you can see it's content ideas public. What you're going to want to do is click this little drop down here. You're going to then, I think it's these 3 dots. Yep. And then hit duplicate base. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us content ideas. I'll just change this to your name. All the stuff we need, right? So let me duplicate this base real quick. And then we're going to get rocking and rolling from there. Okay. And so once it's done, you'll hit open base. And then from here, you're going to have 3 tables. This one is currently irrelevant, but the 2 main tables we have are content ideas, which captures your content ideas, and then post type prompt bits, which based on the post type, and this spelling has to match this post type here, will directly insert your best practices into the prompting for creative, for copy. And then if you have examples of really good Facebook posts, for example, that you wanted to mimic the structure of, you throw it into here and it gets that done for you. So with that being said, we have Airtable set up now. And what we're going to need to do next, let me pull up my little instructions so I make sure we're doing this right. Boom, is I'm pretty sure we're going to want to set up the N8N flows. Yep, I was correct. So we have the Airtable base set up. The next thing we want to do is we want to set up N8N flows, and then we're going to import those into our extensions here in Airtable. And this scripting extension allows you just to write JavaScript code to modify your Airtable or grab data from your Airtable and send it to a webhook, which is what we're doing in this case. And so with the N8N flows, I already went ahead and exported these for you. So all you're going to have to do is connect in your credentials, and then the rest of the flow is ready to go. I want to make it super easy to get you guys up and running so you don't have to do all this drag and drop and drag and drop and drag and drop, just there, ready to go. And so for that, there's a few ways that you can grab these, right? One is there's direct workflow files in this document that you can go ahead and download if that's what you want to do, right? The other way is there's this GitHub repo. What you can do from there is you just want to select each file that you want to import, and then you want to select the raw version of that, and then just copy the link. And then I already went ahead and did that for you too. So if you just want to copy the link I have here, you can just copy it and then import. And so I'm going to show you on my N8N account how to import these flows so that you can set them up for yourself. And so we're going to go in, we're going to hit, I'm going to do this on a new N8N account, by the way. That way you guys can kind of see setting up the accounts, where things do work, don't work, etc., where you have to set up your own credentials and whatnot there. So let me make sure that this is still logged in. Yeah, cool. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take each of those links, right? You should see my screen here. And with that, I'm going to create a new, you could create this as a project. I would actually recommend starting with a project. So Telegram content bot, save. And then what I would do from there is just start to create workflows. So I'm going to start from scratch. And then in the top right, I'm going to hit import from URL. I'm going to take this URL. If you did downloaded the file, just hit import from file instead, by the way. Pretty simple. But I'm going to import this workflow from the URL, and this is the first one we'll need, which is the Telegram voice note summary. So I'm going to cancel that real quick to make sure that's the right one. Okay, cool. Hit yes, import. And then what's going to happen is it will import this entire workflow. And you can see first things first, unpin this here, right? I would leave it for now so that we can do testing. Get the audio file path, download the audio file. That's all fine and dandy, right? This just pulls it directly from Telegram's API and then downloads the file. We may need to add in some credentials here. So give me 1 sec and we'll dive into that. Okay, so if you come over here, you'll need to import this bot ID, get that file, and then you should be able to grab the voice ID file from there. Boom. Get that rocking and rolling. And then same thing for audio file, I believe. Yep, so you'll just throw bot ID here. So whatever your bot ID is, you'll throw that in there and you'll be able to download that file. Now you do have to connect a few credentials, as you could see. One is Telegram up here. And I would actually recommend unpinning this. That way it's just not in the way. Boom. So you'll need to connect your Telegram credentials here. And that access token that we grabbed earlier, you'll now want to paste here. For OpenAI, you want to paste that API key within here. And then that should do it for this. Then you'll just have to click down and select the new credential you created. Airtable, same thing here. Right, create a new credential. And then for access tokens, I'll drop the link below on how to grab that access token. And then Telegram should already be connected. So just go ahead and select the credential that you already set up. Right, and so that's how you import those flows. From there, you don't have to do any other changes here, right? Outside of making sure that you connect it to the actual content ideas and the correct table. So that it imports into there. After that, we'll import the next flow, which is generate posts. And this one is where we will start working with Airtable itself. So again, import from URL, drop that in. Yes, import, and then we're done, right? You just got to set up the Airtable credentials you set and the OpenAI credentials. And then what you'll want to do is for the test, right? Once this is done, we're going to use the production URL. But for the test itself, I'm just going to copy this link. And then what we're going to need to do for the generate post action is go back into our content ideas table. Under the generate post script, which you should have imported here, you're going to hit edit code. And then really simple, where it says your test n8n URL, you're just going to paste this in. From there, I'm going to hit run. And then you should see that for this specific post that we have in here, and you're just going to test this so that you have it, it'll actually run that n8n flow that we just imported. Did I do generate images by accident first? Let's see. No, it's generate post. Cool. Yep. And so you'll drop that in there. This is just my generate images flow. And then the last one to do is generate images. And we're going to do the same thing, right? So I'm going to go over to Telegram content bot. I'm going to leave without saving because I didn't do any changes. Oops, probably should have saved it. Anyway, import from URL, grab the images, import. And you can see this one has one more thing, which is the HTTP request, where you're going to want to go in and throw your API key in, right? So you'll come into HTTP request where it says API key. You're going to throw in your API key. And then under webhook, you'll be good. Airtable connect credentials, OpenAI chat connect credentials, same thing for this Airtable, and then you should be done. Under webhook, you're going to take that test URL to start, hit listen for live event, paste it into your content ideas Airtable. So go to edit code, under generate images. And then you're just going to paste it where it says your test N8N URL. Oh. You're going to hit run. You should receive an event here. And then you're just going to go through the flow and test the workflow and make sure everything works. And it should, right? Because it's set up to do that. So once that's done, I think we got most of everything. Yeah. So we got the credentials set up with an N8N. We got the workflows set up with an N8N. We have our Airtable set up. We have our ideogram account set up, and the credentials were then put into that HTTP request. And we have our Telegram account set up. So everything's set up. We've imported the flows. We set up BotFather. We set up Airtable with what we need just by importing it. And we're good to go, right? You should have had positive tests on all those. Once that's done, the last thing we're going to want to do is instead of having to test URL for the generate images and generate posts, N8N, you're going to want to grab the production URL. And that way you don't have to listen for events every time. And you'll just come in for each of those for both the generate post and generate images. And you replace the test URL with the production URL and then save, and you're done. So with that being said, right now, here's a few things that you can do with this workflow. Number one is you can go in and create your own post prompt bits. And I call them prompt bits. There's different words for it, but I think it's a cool way to name it. So for now, I have YouTube Shorts and Facebook post best practices to feed into the LLM. We have Instagram posts you can add yourself, LinkedIn post, YouTube post, and then you can also model off this. And what I mean by YouTube post are the image and text-based posts that you now do on YouTube. Or you can come and add your own type. And the way you can do that is, let's just say we want to do TikTok. All right, as an example, come in, add these best practices. And then the only other thing you need to do to add a new content type is under post types itself, add a new field that directly matches that spelling. So TikTok. And now when you select TikTok to generate post, it's going to follow those best practices that you inserted into that table. Right. So that's one update that you can do that is super, 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 super quick that makes this system really, really malleable to your needs. What can we also do? Right. So we talked about that. Setting up a separate table for post content. So if you're really, really smart about relational tables, you can set up a separate table. And I'm going to be doing this in future videos that actually has the posts themselves connected to the content ideas so that I can have stored not just one post type, but all the post types that I want to generate around that single content idea. What else can we do? We can also update Telegram to allow replies. So if we come into Airtable and we store the Telegram message ID, then anytime we respond or reply to that message ID, we can then make sure that that voice note is around this content idea. And that can even be actions like generate post, generate images, and post once I set that up. Other idea is to post to social platforms. So allow posting to Facebook directly, YouTube directly, all that sort of stuff to make your workflow even more efficient. And so with that being said, that only took 36 minutes. It's awesome. What I want to do is I want to open up the floor for any questions, comments, concerns, if you ran into any issues, and we can walk through that if you drop those in the QA chat. So if there aren't any other questions, we'll call it a day there. Hope you guys enjoyed this session on setting up your own Telegram voice bot to capture all of your content ideas. If you guys are watching this after the webinar itself, feel free to drop any comments below. And what I will be doing the next 2 to 3 months is actually setting up an AI automation agency. So if you guys do need help building out workflows for your business,